la ti do. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. The wily waiter with the walrus with waxed lips. You know, you got to do an exercise and warm up the good old vocal cords in your mouth and your lips, your enunciation, your diction, your explosives. That's right. Your thongs are dipping. And and watch out for that thong. You're getting a little cheeky there. Hey, yo, waka waka. We're doing it phonetically today. How you doing, everybody? Good to see you. Welcome back. It is time for the show, The Comics Talk, with Reverend Sully here at your dojo for tactical and practical spirituality here at our channel. Thanks so much for being here and hanging out with us. Do, a deer, a female deer, ray, a drop of golden sun, me a name I call myself, far a long, long way away. So a needle pulling thread, la, a note to follow, so tea, a drink with jam and bread that will bring us back to dough. That's right. Oh, man, you set them up, I'll knock them down, Pikachu, every time. I'm just the talent. That's my executive producer, a Pikachu. Over there in the control booth, we have Canadian Bear with a Cecilized Canadian Bear. More like it. Look at that. Oh, my goodness. And we have the Critical Drinker plushie as well. They're in our control booth minding the mic, doing the camera drones and and entertaining the studio audience. You know what I mean? And that too, it's very important to us. Hey, James, good to see you, buddy. Cheers. Awesome. And it is the review show. It is the Sunday review show here at the channel. We cover pop culture. We're also doing we're talking a little bit of Star Wars here. We talk about Star Wars here. There is a playlist on the channel here where I've been talking about Star Wars probably nonstop since I was 5 years old in 1977. Okay, this is the truth. And so I always love it how, just the change of culture. Like, why is Star Wars changing? Because culture is changing. Star Wars is eternal. We're going to get more into that, after we review the comics. And we also have, you guessed it, that's right, what's in the bag? 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 That's right, funny books fresh this week from our local comic book shop, our LCS. If you think we have a mission here, using our platform, using our messaging, spreading our agenda, I was going to make a mama joke and a half there, man. But we're trying to be better, okay? You know what I mean? Just like... But go to your LCS, your local comic book shop. I've got 6 different comic book shops in my area. Local comic book shops, 7 including Newbury Comics, which really doesn't count, but 8 most definitely including Fantastic Comics of Berkeley, California. My friend Yul Carter owns and operates and has his own show on Tuesdays. So follow Yul Carter. He's got a great show. He's got a great comic book store. If you do not have a local comic book shop in your area, which you may not, feel free to hit Yul Carter up at Fantastic Comics in Berkeley, California, and he could potentially help you out with that situation. You could be your own mailbox away from having an LCS. Alrighty, you can find his deets in the description of this very show, right near the top of it too. Just talk to Brother Yule, and you too could be reading comic books like we do. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, we talk about what comic books are we talking about this week? Talking comic books, Pika, talking. Ah! We read 8 different DC comic books this week. We read 16 different Marvel comic books, doubling that, and a few other independent comics. So we probably read under 30 new comics this week. Just this week. How many comic books do you read in a week? Do you read new comic books weekly? I'm blessed and grateful that I do. I'm like, and that through our YouTubes. Hey, Dwayne, look at you. How you doing there, handsome? Oh man, you've been doing push-ups. You look great. But through these connections, through our YouTubes and our social media, which don't have to be anti-social media, we have the ability to continue this comic book shop style conversation out here on the interwebs, on the YouTubes. We try to keep it as positive as possible at all times. There is room for outrage. Who wants to be like outraged all the time? Well, maybe that makes you an activist, but that makes you a Disney Star Wars fan. We're going to get back to that full circle in a little bit. Well, after at the end of the show, but I got to keep people interested in watching, the ratings and everything. I'm getting clobbered by a kid in Papua New Guinea with a 3-legged mule who might be a little bit special needs. We're talking about the donkey, not the child. Okay? Let's be clear there. All right. It's good to be on the same page. All righty here. Talking about pages, we're going to turn the page. We're going to talk about some comic books that we read this week. Yeah, 30 comics I've read this week. About that. Yeah. I mean, new comics, different comics from different publishers and everything. I'm blessed and grateful to get a pirate treasure chest full of pirated digital comic books every week from a friend, and it's like I read and whatever's good enough, I go back and buy, and also I go to my local comic book every week due to scarcity driving the market. All right. Scarcity driving value and things. I adopted a pull list. I got a pull list going after all these years because I was just sick and tired of missing the things I've been buying all month. It's a little frustrating to go in on a Wednesday, a new comic book day, and they're already sold out and they've only been open for 4 hours. But it's a testament to the health of the industry as well. They only buy enough to cover the pull lists and just a couple for the shelves. Gone are the days where you have new release shelves just dripping. Where you have to be Midtown Comics in Times Square to have that. And if you're ever in Times Square, New York City, please go to Midtown Comics. It's worth they'll walk up the stairs. It's a comic book mecca. I swear they got great back bins, huge wall of new releases. It's great. And Dwayne says I read comics every day. It's how I keep my sanity in these crazy, confusing, convoluted times. I love the Marvel style alliteration you got there. That's true. I love alliteration. Yes, and alliteration. No, don't be illiterate. Okay, so those are next week's image books, which I've been reading, and they're pretty good. I read Void Rivals already, and Void Rivals seems to be dovetailing closer together with Energon Universe, in my humble opinion. And I'm gotten kind of over the cartooniness of the art. Sure, it's fine. Void Rivals is fine. I can always go back and get the trades. Seriously, if I need it to be part, that's the only part that's missing for me out of Energon Universe so far. Well, I got issue 1, and I got that 1 in 25 variant cover, and I got it for $25 too. Its cover price is $4.99. And but yeah, well, let's get to it. Let's start off with this, the DC comic books. Oh wow, did I even read? Did I? I did. I must have. No. Seriously? I didn't read Batman Superman? Wow. Hold the phone. Let me look at this real quick. Wow. I'm so certain that I must have looked at this book. I haven't? Wow. It's Impossible Part 3 by Dan Mora and Mark Waid, who will be the big 1-2 punch for Absolute Power, the miniseries coming out this summer. Sorry, I'm kind of like just scanning through Superman Batman from this week. And I'm like, yeah, it's like, you hear that? This is how I speed read. Oh no, there are imps everywhere. Some good art, and there's one more left to this. It's Superman Batman 28, and it's probably one of the best. If you're sleeping on World's Finest, you should maybe think twice. That's probably where that's where the fun is. If you've been looking for, DC Comics since the end of Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths and the beginning of the age of the dawn of DC trade dress, which has been going on for what it seems like over a year now. Where was I going with that? Oh yeah, there's been no Justice League. And the Titans have kind of stepped up to being the Justice League level team that protects the world, while it's like there is no Justice League. There is no... Hello, peoples! Hey, Obone. Good to see you. Thank you for dropping in. Happy Sunday to everyone. This seems to be like the closest thing we got to a Justice League book. And coming out of Absolute Justice, I think will be the Justice League book. They moved the like button. Where? I'm still seeing, I still got a typical screen. I'm on my desktop though. I am. What else do we have? Okay, yeah, so Batman Superman World's Finest 28. This has been going on for 2 years now. And it's been decent. That's all. I can't knock it. I've kind of like fell off it once. See, I got really into it when I was back in issues 7, 8, 9. I had to go back. I got issue 1. And I could fill in 2 through 6, but I was buying it monthly for the better part of a year. And then there was an artist change. I kind of fell off of it, but this predated the Mark Waid online stuff. See, I'm on a mobile phone. Or are you on a phone and mobile? Could be, you know what I'm talking about. We got Batman 149. Oh, yeah, sorry. Let me just finish up my thoughts on Batman Superman World's Finest. I'm a bit of a scattershot right now. I just had a giant cup of coffee with a hot chocolate packet in it and some marshmallow fluff to top it with. And I just had homemade Starbucks. And I also got, for the win, not just Oreos, not just double stuffed Oreos. These are mega stuffed Oreos. Okay, there might be a quadruple stuffed Oreo. These are kind of this is almost too much, really. But if you know Martian Manhunter, from Justice League. You know, it's part of like, it came about in the 80s, the late 80s, the Justice League International stuff. But Martian Manhunter loves Oreos, and that's like one of his earthly weaknesses. Yeah, I mean, it's one of DC's best books, but you got a firebrand on, you know, Mark Waid. He's problematic. He's troublesome. Just because he's on the side, but he's on, you know, he's vocal about one side of the aisle and pushes back on the other side of the aisle. Does it matter what the values are? He's just the opposite to Ethan Van Sciver. You know what I mean? That's it. You know what I mean? I can see it. You know, I don't mind it either. I mean, I don't take Ethan that seriously, and I love Ethan. I follow him. I watch his shows. You know what I mean? I still wear his stuff. I just, you know, it's. Yeah, exactly. That's good. Good to see you, Fear Monarch. We're somewhere beyond Barstow at the edge of the desert. That's when the drugs began to take hold. I remember saying something like, I'm feeling a little lightheaded. Maybe you should drive. And then suddenly the whole sky was filled with what appeared to be huge bats all swooping and diving around the car, which was going about 100 miles an hour with the top down to Las Vegas. My attorney was busy pouring beer over his chest to facilitate the tanning process. What the hell are you talking about? God, no use telling him about those bats. Poor bastard will see him soon enough. I can't eat Oreos unless I dunk them in milk. Just letting the bowl of cereal. That's great. Well, anything good? I mean, I got some Apple Jacks Pop-Tarts. It's a new flavor and it's a mashup. So it's like it's apple filled Pop-Tart, but with like a pink frosting with colored with rainbow sprinkles. So it's got this Apple Jacks-y kind of thing to it. So it's supposed to taste like Apple Jacks. Apple Jacks to me, literally, as being a chef, smells like freshly cut lemongrass. Trust me. I mean, I think that's, you know what I mean? I love Asian ingredients. I love Asian cooking. I'm going to put that in the list. I need some fresh ginger. I need some lemongrass. I need some jasmine rice. I need to make some, put some, get those little peppers. Well, hello there, AL. How are you? Good to see you. My Pikachu greets your Pikachu. It's kind of like namaste, but for Pokemon. You know what I mean? Probably. Yeah, look at these. These are triple stuffed Oreos. I usually get double. I get a sweet tooth, and I eat I eat enough junk food. You know what I mean? I'm blessed and grateful. Like I just got had a quick physical, an annual. I'm doing well, and even my cholesterol is at 199. And there's like, wow, really? That's on the high side of normal. Really? Wow. Okay. Cool. So whatever it is, it's working. I go to the dentist 4 times a year for cleanings. I see my doctor once a year just for an annual checkup. And, just make sure you're taking care of yourself. You know what I mean? And try to think better thoughts. And put your attention on things that make you happy. Oh, what we got going on here? Dwayne, Wade and Dan Sloth need to keep their pie holes closed. They are driving off readers with their inane bullshit. They don't care. They're only driving away the malcontents that they dislike anyway, and you know what I mean. And they're getting paid anyway. It's not like sales only matter when it goes in the second and consequential, subsequential printings, and then there's like their bonuses will kick in, but they get paid they get paid a page rate, right? Or whatever it is, the whoozy whatsy. Oh, see, that works. That's teamwork. I like that. I like seeing teamwork. But yeah, Batman Super. We're still talking about this. When was the last time you bought an issue of this, Sully? A year ago. No, stop. You haven't spent money on this? And actually, I bought a copy of World's Finest 25 from Yule Carter at Fantastic Comics because he had the William Shatner variant cover, and I just wanted that because I'm a William Shatner fan. I actually got to get my picture with him last year at Fan Expo Boston. That's just fulfills me as a Star Trek fan. That was great. That was $140, all like rounded up. It was like 138 high change or something after everything was said and done. But it was worth it. Say that much, yeah. And Lane Kramer, the bane of suffering for Star Wars fans. You're not gonna get me to watch this stuff. I got episode 3 of Acolyte to watch. LOL. I have to keep my part of the bargain with Wes and Aaron and watch the first 5 episodes, but you only have 3 more to go after that. You know, why not? Do the whole thing, man. You know, my Twitter's blowing up. What's going on here? Are there any other franchises you like? What, Disney? Plenty of them, but they haven't been killed by, Disney. Oh, people just like to push back on social media. Yeah, it's like a nightmare out there being a Star Wars fan. And I'll get back to him a little later. But now is time for DC Comics here. And Batman 149. We got one more issue to go until the issue 150. That's going to probably be extra thick and on, cost a lot more. And it's legacy. Like, it's actually legacy, 911 or something like that. I could look it up really quickly right now, but I don't want to do it. The camera's over here. That's right. All right, thank you. It's actually Batman 149s are like the reason why I don't spend money on it, because it ended up being lame. It ended up being like it ended very cutesy for something so like, high stakes adrenaline, hyper action. I guess it lands the failsafe. Well, last issue landed the failsafe storyline. This issue is denouement and ties up loose ends. This is about Bruce. This is how Bruce gets his hand fixed? Is that what happened? Was it a sleight of hand? Chip Zdarsky is going to be on Batman for the near future, though, I pretty much think. Wonderful art by Jorge Jimenez. Is he still on that book? Let's see. The Batman 149 on the Batman. No, it was Bandini. Yeah, whoever the hell he is. We got a Jorge Jimenez cover, though. Okay. But, oh, yeah, the art in this was terrible. It wasn't terrible. I don't mean it like that. It's just more of like, it's not Jorge Jimenez. Hey, Adam Frey, how you doing today? Good to see you. Where's Miscellaneous? Hi, Miss. When are you going to be Mrs. Miscellaneous? You like that one? Hey, Lithidor, how you doing? Good to see you. It's good to see everyone out there in TV land tuning in on the Sunday afternoon talking about comic books. Indeed. Yeah, Batman 149 landed flatly dud. But Catwoman 66, it's part 9 of 10 of this 9 Lives story that Teenie Howard's got going on. The art in it is kind of atrocious. It's split in half between 2 artists. What got me hooked on it, though, was the art at the beginning of the arcs, especially Stefano Rafali's art. Kind of introduced me to him as now I know his name. now it just when I see Rafale's name, especially on Ramsey's, on Ram the Fifth, on Ram V's Detective Comics, I am always looking for Rafale. He's his name just pops out of the background, and I'm like, oh, cool. But Teenie Howard is leaving DC Comics, and to everyone's kind of collective joy, I guess. But I've been liking this book. Maybe she saved her best for last. Seriously. There's going to be only 2 more issues of Catwoman. Also, her Harley Quinn is wrapping up. In other news, Joshua Williamson is leaving DC Comics as well. The same day. This was announced earlier, later last week. It's a Sunday, so it's got to be last week. Yeah, anytime last week. Just put it on, we get a... Yeah, sure. I mean, oh my goodness. Look at you go. That toilet, I wouldn't use that for this expensive toilet paper. Maybe it's been jokerized. The ink's been jokerized. I wouldn't do that. It's get Joker toxin. But Catwoman 66, it's just it's wrapping, it's landing this 9 Lives arc, and then it's going to be over, and then maybe there's going to be no Catwoman for a while. Who knows? Green Lantern War Journal number 10 that we've heard officially of 12. Philip Kennedy Johnson and Montas's John Stewart book, re-establishing Dark Star mythology, or making new Dark Star mythology, or heck, I read Green Lantern Mosaic back in the day, and I liked that, but that was interesting, and I didn't stick with it, but I was there for the first couple of issues. I like John Stewart as Green Lantern, and this has actually grown on me a lot. I like Philip Kennedy Johnson's writing. He's the reason I'm buying Hulk. But I think it was the garish coloring and digital effects. The line art seems pretty decent, though. It's just it's this, the color puce is? Puce. 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 Color. Definition. It's a brownish purple color. Hence, the term comes from the color puce, meaning flea-colored, brownish purple. And also there's purple. And then there's pink. And then there's just yeah. I hear ya. Trying to pay attention to the chat. It's bubbling today. Wonderful day for it. It's a beautiful day here in Boston, Massachusetts. 89 degrees out. Pardon me if you hear if you can hear the air conditioner rumbling on the background. It's quite necessary. It's a nice 90. It's a nice 71.4 degrees in our Boston studios. So welcome from Boston, which is Boston Studios, which is down the street from the corner. Look at that. Jay's been Cecilized. It's 91 degrees in New York City. Na 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 na. Aren't you in Texas, Lane Kramer? I mean, yeah, exactly. See? Are you keeping Austin weird? I hope so. And buy indies and support your local comic book shop. That's right. That's what we love to do here. We love to buy comic books. And plus, your local comic book shop, it's an independent bookstore. It's an important part and model for this great American way that Superman was talking about. Truth, justice, and the American way. Well, guess what's part of the American way? Small businesses in small towns, our main streets, our Broadways, our Maple Drives, whatever they are. You know what I mean? I got a Broadway. It's got an Elm Street, and it's got a College Avenue, and it intersects with the Highland Avenue, and Broadway is a block over, and it, and yeah, huh? And no, I always thought that it was a thing, keep Austin weird, Austin's always been a place for like music and culture and museums. And it's where all the it's where all the hippies went in Texas, because Texas is pretty much a straight-laced kind of place, you know, and yeah, hence the Austin City Limits, you know, music show and stuff. Green Lantern War Journal number 10, though, if there's only 2 more issues left. John Constantine Hellblazer, Dead in America, issue 6 by Cy Spurrier and Company. It's a black label, the closest thing you're ever going to get to Vertigo era John Constantine without having to open up a back issue. Yes, this is pretty good. It's well, Spurrier's, I don't know, Spurrier, either I guess you like him or you don't like him, or sometimes he's got it, sometimes he don't. But overall, I like this. I like it a lot. Hey, Phil the Kill, what's up? Good to see you. Thanks for coming by and hanging out on this Sunday. Reading on a Sunday afternoon. So what I read between the lines. That should be like, I should sing that every Sunday, because that's like, you know, it's a, let's see, what was this? Austin is like that picture that was on a person's boat with walrus. Oh, as soon as the boat. Okay. Nice. What else? Nightwing 115 and Titans 12. Sure. Okay, our last 3 books from DC this week are Wonder Woman number 10, Titans 12, and Nightwing 115. Nightwing 115 has art by Bruno Redondo. These are Tom Taylor's last few issues on Nightwing. I wonder if it's going to be on hiatus or if we'll get a new number 1, you know. And I was going to say, when's Nightwing coming up to issue 500? That should be sometime soon. That, like, maybe 400. What do you think? Calling all comics. That's right. I could, you know what I mean? I should. I will. I got an Overstreet price guide right over there. So it's like really easy to do the math. Or maybe there's a legacy number on it could, let's look. Is there a legacy number? There probably is. Nightwing 115. Oh boy. And every issue of DC this week has a 3-issue preview of Absolute Power, plus a checklist. Okay, Taylor, Redondo, Felipe, Lucas. It's got Donna DC trade dress. It's Fallen Grace in part 2 of 5, and it's this big old. It's his. Well, why not? We don't share it, man. This is why we're using. This is why we're doing the thing, right? Who put the bop in the bop shapop shapop? Who put the dang in the dang-a-ling-a-ling-long? Here's your Bruno Redondo cover. That's Heartless. He's the big bad. So yeah, so just like I'm just looking at the design. It's actually got a decent design. Hey, wow, we've got royalty showing up. Hi, Shane Davis. Good to see you, man. Looking at this, I like the there's no legacy number on there, because there was a previous Nightwing volume that went. Wow. Hold on 1 second. We're gonna do it. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, you need one of these for your comic book collection. You can order one from the local comic book shop. This is the Overstreet comic book price guide. Should be a really important part of your collection, and it's good for reference. It's good because it's got a glossary. The glossaries, I got it for the glossary because we used to have conversations about the ages of comics and about, Golden Age, Silver Age, Copper Age. What's a Copper Age? The modern age of comics, according to this Overstreet Price Guide, has been Nightwing is just, thank you, Dwayne. All right, see, there we go. I needed some help from my friends here. Yeah, this went Nightwing Volume 1 went 153 issues. That ran from October 1996 to April of 2009. And so then there is 30 issues of Nightwing in the New 52, and that leads into the Grayson series. Are we counting Grayson in that? I don't think so. So that's 30 plus, that's 183. And then, there you go. Boom. Yeah, I don't want to do math. Yeah, 100 and something. Yeah, 300. You're right. Cheers. Awesome. What else do we got this week? Got lots of comic books. Reading new comic books. Okay, so Nightwing 115, it ends with just something really obvious, and something over in Titans 12 as well, because Tom Taylor's writing Titans as well. And I like Titans a lot more than I like Nightwing, I'll tell you that much, because there was a good heel turn in there. There's there's going to be, everyone knows it's Raven. Yeah, Raven was replaced with her evil self. And so the good Raven is living in the hell dimension. And so there's going to be some more Trigon stuff. And that's okay. It's kind of repetitive. But also, once again, there's like really obvious basic stuff. It's kind of like but this is, I was on Wes from Thinking Criticals yesterday. Thank you, Wes, for having me on. A really awesome panel. And that's what we do on Saturday mornings sometimes. And we're talking about Amazing Spider-Man. And it hadn't crossed my mind, because we're talking about Amazing Spider-Man. We're talking about it's wrapping up in a couple of issues. So this is the end of Zeb Wells' run. We're also going to be talking about Amazing Spider-Man in a couple of minutes. I'm going to save it for that. We're going to jump right into that. But what I said, though, was it came to me as the thought formed as I was coming out of my mouth. And it was like, you know what? Amazing Spider-Man is for normies. It really is. It's that basic. It's not complex. It's really vanilla. It's not that it's bad vanilla. It's really good vanilla. I think it's really good vanilla. Todd Knock, Ed McGuinness, John Romita Jr. with Scott Hanna. I love these artists. And that art elevates the mediocre Zeb Wells work. But Amazing Spider-Man literally is Marvel's flagship title. It sells at $4.99 for 20 pages of story and art twice a week, with variant covers and all this stuff. Dude, and it's like, but it's the story. Everyone's complaining about the story. Everyone's complaining about it's pedantic. It's mediocrity. It's mediocrity. Yeah, it's like, what's up with the whole MJ thing? The MJ thing's a fucking carrot, man, dangling in front of you to get you to keep reading it. The whole thing with Paul is like, if that doesn't end up being the big bad by the end of this, if like Rabin doesn't come through like this vessel, I don't know what to tell you. It just seems really telegraphed. It seems really obvious. But for me personally, because I was saying, like, I like this. I don't mind Amazing Spider-Man. Because it's everyone else on the panel is kind of like, nah, the stories suck. The art's kind of spotty. And I'm like, well, the art's actually better than we think. They're throwing the art at the good artists at this. And, Zeb Wells has a mediocre, but basic, normal, safe as milk shit going on here. You know what I mean? I don't think it's supposed to, upset the apple cart. I think it's supposed to be maybe built and engineered for normies to want to pick up on. I don't think Amazing Spider-Man might be I don't think it's made for Spider-Man fans. Ultimate Spider-Man, maybe. But yeah, like, I mean, Titans number 12. And so to come back to Titans 12 and Nightwing 115, Nightwing 115 ends on one of the most obvious cliche setups. Villain frames hero with villain identity. It's Heartless. Heartless is Dick Grayson. Dun, dun, dun. Come on, man. How many times did you see that? Man, Columbo's more entertaining. I'm not trying to knock Tom Taylor. And the Bruno Redondo art's pretty nice, you know? If it wasn't for all the fucking screen tone filters, I mean, seriously, that shit's got to end. When does that stop? Oh, gosh. They had me going on. I was going on West, like yesterday, we were talking about G.I. Joe and Paul Pelletier's work as he's taking over from Mooneyham. And I'm like, what's up? There are no Ben-Day dots making colors anymore. What's up with this, the dots everywhere on this page? I mean, I know you're trying to go for some retro look. Enough already. The sub effect. A coloring point has more plot points. Oh, boy, yes. Chuck Dixon, he's the man. That's true. ALs, I stopped reading Spider-Man a long time ago. It hasn't gotten any better. Oh, man, this is true. And let's see. But Wonder Woman number 10. Now we're going to just wrap it up. Wonder Woman number 10 by Tom King, with art by Daniel Sampere. See, I love art. I love good art. I love well-drawn DC superheroes. I love well-drawn Marvel superheroes. I love well-drawn naked women. I love Milo Manara. And Daniel Sampere, for me, comes really close to that really fine art, with that really fine lines, kind of like Billy Tucci as well. Billy Tucci went to the Fashion Institute of Technology in Manhattan in the mid-1980s, when what fashion was about, like, you know, it was just like, there was I don't know, it's called New Wave fashion. And, but about the thing on figure and a beautiful woman and a striking pose. And Sampere's got this wonderful art. I mean, there's not a stitch of bad art in these books. Sampere's wonderful line art is just elevating the shit out of this mediocre Tom King story. And I don't think the Tom King story is all that bad. I think Tom King is doing Tom King things. He's pushing buttons. I think he likes to wind up people. And he does, you know what I mean? And everything he does, he chooses to do in book, you know what I mean? And probably on social media. But I mean, Wonder Woman number 10, I mean, it's like, it's getting a lot of crap. It's getting a lot of attention because, you have just Diana in a fight with Cheetah. And by the end of it, they're holding hands in lovey-dovey. And now Cheetah is part of Team Wonder Girl on the Invisible Jet. Spoilers! But it's like this beautifully drawn women. I mean, seriously. I love Milo Manara. I really do. And I swear, Sampere's, it's beautiful art. You should check it out. Don't sleep on it. Wonder Woman, I'm talking about it. Yeah, positively. And the Trinity backup is cute. It's not bad. I mean, seriously. I was getting some flack yesterday on West because I was like, dude, I bought Joe Corallo's Pride issue. And it was just like, someone said to me in the chat, it was like, oh, I've had enough of rainbows. Like, hey, well, dude, man, come on, Joe Corallo is one of us. Coming to our 16 issues of Marvel that we read this week. Let's start off alphabetically from the top with Amazing Spider-Man number 52, because we were talking about it the first place. It is part of the Spider-Goblin storyline. Peter has been, they've used the Winkler machine to mess with his brain waves. And now Peter Parker has been imprinted with the Green Goblin. and Norman's getting kind of goblin-y too. And so you get this really toyetic looking Spider-Man that's like Green Goblin. It goes from with purple and green colors and the goblin chin, and I think it's really toyetic. Meaning, what's toyetic meaning? That means it's really it would look great as a toy. Yeah, Joe Corella can write. Yeah, I was like really happy with it. You know what I mean? Seriously. And make sure you drink some water, children, ladies and gentlemen. Pika, thank you. You can tell a boy Pika from a girl Pika by their tail. Not just looking under their tail, but a boy Pika has a tail that looks like a thunderbolt. The girl Pika, the tip of their tail looks like a heart. Like what Miss Mandy Summers do. Love, bug. Love you, Mandy. Alrighty. Amazing Spider-Man, yeah, into 52. It's got splitting art duties between Ed McGuinness and Todd Knock. And the art in this is so good. Fuck this, man. I'm going to show you some art. I'm going to remove this one. I'm gonna stop the screen. I'm going to present this other screen. You know what I mean. Poison. Oh, never trust a big button smile. If I were you, I'd take precaution before you step to me, fly girl. You know, it's in slow motion. I lose my cursor sometimes over two screens. I gotta find it sometimes. You know what it means. It's driving me out of my mind. Look at this Ed McGuinness work, though. I mean, like, I've also liked the lettering on this too. It's pretty good. I like the design of Chasm. This is Ben Reilly's supernatural powered quasi Spider-Man look. Yeah. And but look, yeah, look at that. Where did Peter grow ears and a chin? Shut up. Don't ask questions. And there's some, yeah, and that's Todd. Is that Todd Knock? That's Todd Knock. And then you could see like McGuinness pages, Knock pages. It's really good. And then he's going to land this with J.R. Jr. and Scott Hanna. I love. It's a pretty good. I mean, it's a pretty good fight sequence. We got Wreck Rap. Oh yeah, but it's we got like I mean, but the McGuinness art with the Chasm Peter fight is pretty good. Psychoreactive goo. He gooed on you. This is what happened. And look, magically, he turns like what happened? What? Don't think. Just it's just. This is what I'm talking about. This is quite literally what I just said. It's because like this is kind of dumb. It's kind of basic. It's kind of safe. I mean, look at Gang War. It was so stupid. It didn't go anywhere. It had all these tie-in issues. That was just to milk you and to get you money. You know what I mean? There's just any of those tie-in matters. I mean, is there a status quo going on in Marvel Manhattan right now? Who cares? I mean, just seriously, it always goes back to Kingpin. Right now, it's Tombstone. Just hey! Oh my goodness! My brother, Thomas Gilkey. We're hanging out Tuesday. Anyone in the local area? Get in touch. Grab a beer with us. Make a sandwich. We're hanging on Tuesday afternoon. Well, we're gonna get there soon enough, Thomas. Don't you worry. And I made a claim, and I'm gonna bring merit to support my claim. I tell you that much. Oh, if-then statements. If you're a istophobe, then you are not a Star Wars fan. Who the heck gave you any power and leverage to gatekeep Star Wars? If-then conditional statements. We're gonna get there. Thomas, don't get me all riled up before it's time. I'm telling you. But yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Amazing Spider-Man. It's made for normies. It's clearly not made for Star Wars fans, because it probably doesn't sell more than 60,000 copies. Well, twice a week. I mean, twice a month. So I mean, it's always, it's Marvel's. Wow, the power of one, the power of two, the power of money. I just made that up. Oh, that's good news. The Memes of Destruction is joining us Tuesday. Great. Get something to eat. Then we'll go, go hit on some co-eds. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna take you to a Bruins game, Thomas. Me and Memes. We're gonna Shanghai you. We're gonna. Hey, that's mean to say. Shanghai. We've got Black Panther, Blood Hunt 2 of 3, written by Cheryl Lynn Eaton. And artist is Fareed Karami. And it's pretty bad. But it gets into some kind of T'Challa has been turned into a vampire by our big bad Blade. What happened to Blade? Well, Blade had a pretty decent Brian Hill 10-issue series that set this all up last year, where Blade went down to hell and he got into this bad fight with a demoness who I think infected him with some evil. And so it's Black Panther, Blood Hunt number 2. I'm telling you, I don't think there are any good Blood Hunt tie-ins. And guess what? Blood Hunt number 4 is coming out this Wednesday. I mean, I felt like Blood Hunt 3 came out last week or 2 weeks ago. Is this I don't know. What do you think? We have Captain America number 10, which is Legacy number 760. By J. Michael Straczynski and Jesus Saiz. And this is a bit more action-adventure oriented. But once again, I mean, this has been the most coherent issue of JMS's new cap run. But let me tell you, still, this whole series has been a miss for me. That's fine. Sometimes they do. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes if it's not made for you, sometimes it's a miss with you. That's fine. You're not nothing. Not 100% of everything's gonna be in your wheelhouse. I cosplay as Captain America. I do. I love Captain America stories. These aren't just my favorites. And you know what? Fuck you, Alyssa Wong. There you go. Block you, Twitter blocker. No interactions. I was put on a list. I was put on a list of bad persons, and I was proactively blocked by a better than you. Yay! All right, but how am I supposed to buy or support your stuff anymore, Ms. Wong? I'm not. But Captain Marvel number 9 is. I've read every issue of this awful series, and gosh, this is just terrible stuff. But it's got to be the most cohesive issue so far in the series. And then it's got some actually good rising and falling action. And it's got some pretty decent fight scenes. The art elevates the mediocre story. So as a single issue goes, I mean, it's okay. Hello, Mark McGrath. How are you today? Good to see you. There is a quality issue. Let's see what else. There's Dracula Blood Hunt 2 of 3, written by Danny Lore. Now, people were saying that the first issue of this was pretty okay. I even said that it was decent, but I knew that Danny Lore is not going to have 3 issues in a row in her to, you know what I mean? Issue 1 of this. What, you want to take a peek? Okay. Let's take a peek. Let's look at Blood Hunt. issue 2 of 3, Dracula Blood Hunt. And enter Daredevil. And this is all about, this is Blade's daughter, Brielle Brooks. And so issue 1 was decent, but I could tell you that it was a Buffy the Vampire spec script. And then all you need to do is just take out Buffy the Vampire Slayer, like you do a Control F on your keyboard, and you put in Buffy on your document, and you replace it with Brielle. What happened there? See, I was messing around with stuff. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. Let's go back to that. Thank you very much. See? That's what you get messing around with stuff. But yeah, look at that. All the, bisexual lighting. It's all that purple. We used to make fun of the color purple here all the time. Remember that? Remember back in the day when we would just make fun of purple and, oh, the old channel's gone. I'm sorry. Oh, sorry about that. Where did my window go? Sometimes I just... Okay, yeah, here we go. The blood... Your father has loosed the blood hunt upon you. Here's your expository, your opening page, your inciting incident, your... So here's a little bit of, here's some info dump here. Dracula is the legendary immortal lord of the vampires who rules his undead nation from his stronghold in Chernobyl. Brielle Brooks is the daughter of Blade, the half-human, half-vampire monster. Brielle, a.k.a. Bloodline, inherited her father's superhuman strength, reflexes, and senses, and has been trained by him to defend herself and others against creatures of the night. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Lots of magenta! That's right! Dude, it's purple. It's the color of royalty. It's the color of equity. We talked about purple bunches of times on the show, and its overuse. And I see it as like, it's good that the blues know that they have to accept the reds and get along and work together in order to make this purple that they want to put everywhere in this world. A group of vampires led by Blade use dark force energies to blot out the sun. That's the inciting incident of Blood Hunt. When that happens, the world is then infected with vampires, except for Liturvia. Yeah, the Duchy of Doom. Dracula began preparations for a mysterious mystic ritual to quell the rebel vampires. As a part of his plan, Dracula sought out Brielle Brooks, warning her that the world would come to an end unless they worked together. Brielle was reluctantly to ally herself with her father's ancient enemy, but was whisked away by Dracula to New York City, where they met with other... This takes place after Blood Hunt 3. Okay. So it's like you're going to have to read these like between issues of like... So are these to be read all in a row? So this is... Yeah, huh. So yeah, this is like the your little capsule of issue 3 there. I like that the art is kind of going for this Pepe Larraz kind of thing. But still, this is like this is Marvel version of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That's all it is. I can hear the danger music in my head, and then you have a team up. That's right. Dun 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 dun. Ba 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 ba. Thank you very much. That's Dracula Blood Hunt, issue 2 of 3. Here to get your money. That's right. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. Let's look at that one more time. Is that the cover price? It's $3.99 an issue. It's $4. So you're gonna get $12 for every one of these useless 2-issue tie-ins. We have Doctor Strange 16, written by Jed McKay. It's a Blood Hunt tie-in, and what happened was Stephen Strange is on the astral plane, but his body has been turned into a vampire. You know Wong. You know Wong from the movies. So Wong is part of S.H.I.E.L.D. He's like the Nick Fury of the Mystic Arts, working for S.H.I.E.L.D. So he's got the Steven's body up on a helicarrier, and they're not having a very hella good time. Hell if I know. Oh my gosh! Oh, you and your puns, Sully. Very nice. All right, but I've been reading Doctor Strange for months now. Really good art by Pascal Ferry. I'll say this much. This should be a stronger tie-in. Anything written... See, Jed McKay is writing Blood Hunt proper, 1 through 5. So he's also writing Doc Strange. He's writing Moon Knight. He's also writing Avengers right now, too. He's doing a lot of heavy lifting at Marvel. He's covering a lot of ground. So last issue of Doctor Strange was a really important tie-in. Not every tie-in you need to get. And I don't think you need to get this one either. Immortal Thor, number 12. It's really pretty. It's by Al Ewing. It's got stuff from the Robert Kirkman Gods book with the in-betweener, black and white boxes and stuff. If you know what I'm talking about, sure. Invincible Iron Man, number 19. We're going to look at this. Jerry Duggan wrote this. Jerry Duggan's coming off of Iron Man, I heard. This should... Okay, look at the cover of this, okay? We have Marvel, issue 19. It's Legacy 669, Invincible Iron Man. Duggan, DeVito, Valenza. And I like this cover. I love Iron Man armors, okay? I'm going to get a huge, big thing for Iron Man armors. And... when multi-billionaire industrialist Tony Stark, inventor extraordinaire, dons his solar-charged steel mesh armor, he becomes a high-tech warrior, the world's greatest human fighting machine. If I only had a heart. And note this right here. This issue takes place during Fall of Hex number 5 and before X-Men 35 because Jerry Duggan's been writing all of those. All right. Jerry Duggan's been writing Invincible Iron Man. Invincible Iron Man has literally been, for the most part, an X-Men title all this time. And every pertinent issue of Iron Man, besides this one, has the proper trade dress where it says Fall of the House of X or Fall of X, stuff like that. And it's just basically, and here we go. It's basically War Machine helping out with the big battle in New York. I wonder if this takes place before Blood. I think this has to take place before Blood Hunt because Avengers progressed that way. Avengers did a Fall of the House of X tie-in issue because Tony's part of that team as well. And then the next issue was a Blood Hunt tie-in. So, oh no, I'm going to punch my best friend. We're gonna see. I love that Mark 72 Iron Man armor. It's pretty good. And but I like this ending. I really do. I like melodramatic notes sometimes. I do like romance here and there. It's got a place. And having Tony and Emma, together like this, a marriage of convenience, but it's okay. I kind of like them together. They play off each other well. They quip very well. It's like Nick and Nora Charles, like the Thin Man. That's an old archetype. It might be wasted on the young. I mean, I hope young people get to watch old movies. If you put down the story now and don't finish it, then we lived happily ever after, and my marriage was a happy one. But if you want to know the truth, well, you have one more chapter to go. End of the line. And also, so Duggan's wrapping up his run on Iron Man as well. Will that go to another writer? Will that be put to bed for a while? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I used to watch the Thin Man movies. They're really fun. They're really good. Immortal Thor, that issue dropped it from my poll list. Yeah, it's intermittently great. Yeah. Huh? Lane Kramer says the Blood Hunt Wolverine and Blood Hunt Black Panther are both really fun. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yes. I mean, I think Wolverine's better than Black Panther, but that's just, my opinion. And the Union Jack one was pretty good too. Yeah, and I think the Kev Walker art on the Union Jack one, that's what did it for me. Let's see. What's going on? We got the sensational She-Hulk. Comics made by girls for girls. Seriously, look at all the purple. You know what I mean? It's Rainbow Roll and Andres Genole and T. Cuniff and this is like Sex in the City superhero style. This is really much. Oh, this series ends. The next issue of She-Hulk. Really? I do like the heads here. Do you see the heads on the side here? That's very classic Marvel. And sometimes you need that to be like, hey, here's, Chris Claremont, call that your dramatis personae. And, hey, y'all. I'm pretty sure it wasn't made for me, too. And they've got a cute love story. And sometimes he's radioactive. And we come home and my apartment's a mess. Oh, come on. Oh, and antics ensue, and she's got a fight club with some of her reformed nemesis, but they're all super strong, and they realize that sometimes you just gotta push, blow off some steam. And and get they have it's like what do they call it? It's something like Fight Club, I forget. And Punch Club. Oh yeah, okay. So it's dun dun dun. And then Captain Marvel, one of her best friends, offers her an apartment at Avengers Tower. Here we go. Or is it the Infinite City? They're offering her a spot on the Avengers. And it's just and then I can hear Hermanalo Blalungs clicking on the sidewalks of Manhattan. And Carrie Bradshaw. Aw. Aw, you see this? Aw. See, look at that! All that just this is it. This is we pick on this stuff but it is a romance book. There have been girls' romance comics have been in comics since the beginning, and they always did quite well for themselves. Do these do well for themselves? Would romance comics do better by not taking on a superhero skin, or do you think that this is the lifestyle brand? This is, who knows? Well, I do, because it is. That's the whole marketing thing. Ultimate Spider-Man #6. Marco Cicchetto returns to the bookie of the past 2 issues. He's been a fill-in artist. A lot of talking over eating, conversations, not a lot of action. This one, #6, makes up for it. And it's here, I'm going to give you what you want. I'm afraid they're going to take it away from him. With great power comes great responsibility, but he learns that by not being vengeful and hurting Uncle Ben's killer. What's going to happen? I actually think that, are they going to hurt MJ? Make Emma Frost evil again. I would. I was watching Gray and Jim Warner go through New X-Men number 118 earlier today. Germ-Free Generation Part 1 by Grant Morrison. With art by Ethan Van Sciver. What a beautiful, beautiful Emma Frost he draws. But yeah, I mean, and this is where he admits, let's see, the girl, May, the daughter already knows. She, so this is where he's fessing up to Richard, his son, and Mary Jane, his wife. And it's just like, so I kept, this is him, fessing up to the missus. And you get these are actually pretty cool team ups with Harry. And but it's kind of like we're waiting for the other shoe to drop. Look at this Chichetto art. Look at this. Look at that. It's a great pose. It's great Spider-Man. And it's like and it's Kingpin. And it's Green Goblin and Spider-Man versus Kingpin. And it's really good. This is a great action scenes, nice panels. I mean, great art. This is what we want in this Ultimate Comic Books. It's just like high octane, entertaining action scenes. Seriously. Loving it. What? Well, I think that Peter Parker is a very emotionally healthy and resilient hero. I think he's the opposite of Batman. Bruce Wayne deals with his grief through violence. Peter deals with his by accepting responsibility and knowing how to work with loss and tragedy. And just, I mean, I love Peter Parker as a character. We got Uncle Scrooge in the Infinity Dime, written by, it's $7.99, all ages, 61 pages of story and art. We got, it's written by Jason Aaron, and it's just, I was never a Disney Comics fan. Disney Comics have been around for a long time, all my life. And I think back then they were Gold Key Comics. I'm not sure. Were they? I'm not sure. Spider-Woman number 8 was better, in my humble opinion, than most of all of these the Blood Hunt tie-ins. Yeah. Dang. All right. I'd show you the art, but it's like I'm not. It's not that great. I mean, we have Venom: Separation Anxiety number 2, written by Dave Michelini. So I wish they had like a little note on the cover, because they usually do like on these throwback comics. These are set like in a different time. These aren't in current continuity. These are back in the way again and the way ago, or whatever it is. We got David Michelini, Gerardo Sandoval. We have a penciler and inker, which looks really good. And so we have a Venomized Purple Man. And so there's been just a lot of Venom stuff going on. There's going to be something called Venom War as an event this summer. It's not I don't think it's a Spider-Man event. No, it's a Venom event. And but this is usually, see, Marvel had this old conceit, this old publishing trick. It was just a publishing trick. It's called the 0.1 issue. So they could put say Marvel 250.1, and you could smuggle in a an old story set in the old continuity, like back when Peter was fighting Hobgoblin, you know, back in the 80s. And so this is like a 0.1 issue, but where? I mean, I know there's been some other Michelini Venom stuff, which is like, this is like classic people eating Venom. This is just simple. It's Eddie Brock. It's the symbiote. They're a lot younger. This is like years ago. And they're new stories set in that time. And you know, they're okay. I was never a big Venom fan. I'll tell you that much. We got Venomverse Reborn. Now this is just like the Edge of the Spider-Verse books that have been going on. But instead of a Spider-Verse, it's Venomverse. So I mean, there you go. There's 3 stories in here, and they're all set on different Earths in the Venomverse, and just, I don't know. I like I said, I'm not a Venom fan. I never read Donny Cates' books to begin with, and so I was never into his. People just rave about his Venom books. I was never into it. It's ridiculous now because Donny Cates blocked me on Twitter for being adjacent to, you know, whomever it is I follow on Twitter. You know what I mean? Forever, you know, or who I like on Twitter. I want to buy comics from everyone. You know what I mean? I like great art. I like good storytelling. I like, you know, but hey, just I'm better than you. Something like that, right? This is Wolverine Blood Hunt 2 of 3. This is actually pretty good over-the-top action, but great art by Juan Jose Reap, who I just think does a really good job in anything. And it's over-the-top, hyper-violent, Wolverine and vampire girl, good vampire girl versus bad vampires. Oh, man. And look how awful that onomatopoeia looks. That crink, that blaster blast. You know what I mean? It just looks so like oddly assembled. Like that Buddha. It's the same exact Buddha down there. It's just cut and pasted and dragged and dropped. Look at that shoosh. I mean, it just looks so fucking flat. It makes me appreciate hand-drawn onomatopoeia every time I see it. And look at that snick. Look at that. It just stands out like it just, I don't know. Look at it. There's nothing to be gained about talking about this stuff. Sorry about that. I go on tangents about friggin' lettering and onomatopoeia and like, what's the use? What's the bloody use? I know. Let's see. Let me catch up with the chat here. I'm still not reading any of these yet. I'm waiting for it in either trades or if they drop the ball and pretend it never existed. See, that's a good way to put it. I heard about this since the announcement of Marvel vs. Capcom collection announced. There's been a lot of artwork of Spidey and Morrigan from Darkstalkers. This has been a subshift for like 3 decades. Really? Indeed. Ultimate Black Panther is pretty good. It's been the best of Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate X-Men, Ultimate Black Panther. I gotta say, Black Panther is pretty much consistently the one that's getting base hits. You know, and a good on base percentage, in my humble opinion. Charlie Murphy. What's in the bag? What did we buy this week? We spend money every week at our local comic book shop. There are 6 local comic book shops in striking distance of this fortress of solitude. This is the ubiquitous brown paper bag that we get with our purchases. And what did we get? Well, I got issue 2 of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin 2 Re-Evolution. And this is about this is the C cover. This is the Ben Bishop variant cover. I got the last one of that. I'm very happy to snag this up. There were only about 2 more copies left. And it's the second generation of Turtles after The Last Ronin. And I'm taking a chance on this. I'm taking a chance on these new Turtles and this new story. But I'll tell you one thing I love is that it feels like it's firmly set in the Mirage universe. That's where Last Ronin was set from. And I'm a Mirage universe kind of Turtles fan. So I'm giving this a chance. Yeah, I'm giving the new Turtles, their due. Why not? They're new characters. And yeah, why not? We need to take chances on things. Seriously. We've got Man's Best 4 of 5 on Boom Studios. It's about you're in my way. Stand by. What's going on? Well, clock on the wall says happy 420. That's right. We celebrate 420 here in our house. Mm-hmm. It's good to stand up every hour and 15 minutes when you're live casting and you're a boy, or if you have, a penis and testicles, you know what I mean? You gotta move them around. If you touch it more than 3 times, it is considered playing with yourself. Take bigger hits, man. I just can't do that on TV, man. Get demonetized or something. But it's fun. Okay, it got 3 weaponized animals, and they're on. Dude, they've been sent into outer space. And there's one more issue of this, and it's it's got my attention. I like the art style. Like I said, I like taking chances on things. It's been a cute story. I like there's a big trend with animals, anthropomorphic animals, and I think I chose this over feral. But Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees was pretty effing good. That's going to be released, if it hasn't already been released, in trade paperback. It seems the trade paperback comes out 2 weeks after the last issue. So it's seriously, I mean, we have the crowdfunding books. I like them because they're more complete. They're bigger. You're getting 64, 80-page books, complete stories. You know what I mean? You get 20 pages of story and art for what, for $4.99, $3.99, $4.99. You basically get 20 pages of story and art. And so Man's Best here is $4.99. It's $5. It's going to be 5 issues. It's going to be $25 for a 100-page story. That's fine. I mean, I wonder if usually the trade paperback will be a little cheaper, I think. I'm wondering if the trade paperback will be $20. We can actually look this up. We have the internet here. I can't see it. No. What? Oh, fuck it. But yeah, I mean, but it gives you the illusion of the floppy. There's an illusion of the floppy. This has already been printed as a trade paperback. It's why publish it as a floppy in the first place? Is it to chase this illusion of a marketplace? Is there that much in variant covers? Like Man's Best 4 here, this had 4 variant covers. 2 incentive covers, a 1 in 25 virgin variant of this, and a Jesse Lonigan virgin variant cover, Patrick Horvath, and a Crystal Kung. You know what I mean? 4 variant covers for a comic book. In issue 4 that you've probably never heard of. I'm reading it because I took it. You know what? One of the gals at my local comic book shop suggested this. She knows what kind of books I like. And I was like, okay, let me try it. Sure, why not? It was all right, man. It really was. But did it have to be released as a floppy over 5 floppies when you already, you know what I mean? It's like, is there an illusion of this magazine format? Couldn't they just consolidate their efforts? I don't know. I don't have answers. All I have are more questions. Here, we have already reviewed these 2, but I buy them. I read them on my pirate. I pirate these things, and but yeah, I've been reading them. This is the closest you're going to get to authentic John Constantine, and it's all right. He smokes cigarettes. Ultimate Spider-Man #6. All right. And, hey, look, there's an advertisement. We also talk about advertisements in books. There's no more junk food ads. You know what I mean? Wow, hey, look. Who's Joywave? A new album. Wow, that's an interesting advertisement because an actual product that's like not Marvel Studios or Venom War or Marvel, Stormbreakers for variant covers or Focus. You know what I mean? That could have been an ad. Look, NYX #1. We've got the Marvel Bulletin page, not an ad. We've got huge page. Look at that. But that's publishing right there. Boom. You get these pages for being a comic book fan. All right. You open that page up and you're like, boom! Big action scene. Boom! This Chichetto art, something else, man. We got Deadpool. Look, that's another ad. Look, another house ad. Look, it's another ad. It's Deadpool versus Wolverine, World War III, which is pretty good. And look, there is a sticker here that we pull up, and underneath this is a QR code that has free digital content offer. It expires on June 19th, 2025. I like going through floppies with you all. I really do. We got Black Widow, Venomous. Black Widow has a Venom, has a symbiote. And then look, the art of Marvel storytelling, which I think is an interesting thing. But look, that's all the ads. One ad that is not Marvel related. Remember, there used to be toy ads. There used to be video game ads. There used to be junk food ads, movie ads. Some Disney, some animated stuff, but come on, it's X-Men. We have been expecting this comic book. I mean, look, this is Black Label. $4.99 cardstock cover. But look, okay, we got a movie. We got a movie. We got 2 movies. We've got QR codes. Embark on the new game. Is it a video game? Oh, it's on an app. Oh, so you can play it on your phone. But yeah, I mean, just like art, story. They're in Las Vegas, I think, in the middle of the desert, and in a double-decker London bus. It's John, his mute bastard son, and another magic user. John's been dead, so his body's been animated. His soul's in it, but there's something wrong. His heart's not beating. So we're gonna travel across America in order to find out the secret to get John's heart beating again. And yeah, pretty much no ads. We got house ads here. We got the tribute page to Doc Bright. Loved his art growing up. He drew one of my favorite Batman issues, Batman 424, the Jason Todd issue where he pushes or he's suspected of pushing the ambassador's son off the balcony 2 issues before the beginning of Death in the Family. You know, we've got Destro #1 by Dan Waters and Company over on Skybound. This was interesting. Let's look at the ads in here. There's no inside cover ad. This is I think a 5-page preview of Scarlet by, it came out last week from Kelly Thompson and Company. This is the other G.I. Joe Energon Universe tie-in that's leading up to everything else. I liked it. I didn't think it was that bad. You know what I mean? But the inside cover is valuable ad space. And if Skybound is like one of the best sellers in comics right now in these monthly floppies, I mean, why not put like better ads? Where's your marketing thinking? I mean, the inside cover, like they use their inside covers for Indicia, credits, and there's no info bomb drop here, but it's like you have something reminiscent of the old data card. Love G.I. Joe. And this was an okay series. I mean, this is an okay book. Not great. But I mean, seriously, it's like there are no. You see me flipping these pages. No ads. No ad break. It just goes straight story, and then there goes to a preview. So yeah, this has no ads. Indeed. And it's going to be sell like hotcakes. The last issue that we bought this June here, it's June. And I feel the need to say this too. Is we were talking about, we're in the green. I'm on Wes from Thinking Critical show with regularity. I'm not like some permanent member. The only permanent member of the panel is Doc. And because he's the legit co-host of Wes's Thinking Critical. And then he's got 4 open chairs that he rotates through, just offering to his friends. You know what I mean? Over the past 2 years, Wes has invited me on that show all that time in the past 2 years, in almost 2 years now. I mean, yeah. And they got me back by, I was the lapsed fan. That was like, yay, there's this guy. And he likes comic books. He's pretty positive. Let's invite him on our panel. What are you reading that's current? And I'm like, pretty much nothing. And they're like, oh, you got to be checking out Jeremy Adams' The Flash. And you got to be checking out this. You know what I mean? And I'm like, okay. And I did. You got to be checking out Mark Waid and Dan Moore's World's Finest. And I know he's I know, just like, but he writes a darn good fucking story. I mean, shit. I mean, hey, how are you, Scarecrow? Good to see you. Thanks, man. Did I run into you? Let me know. But you know what? Sometimes it sours me on some channels and some stuff. sometimes the anti-gay stuff just gets too much. I get it. We're trying to be funny. I get it that we're trying to use our freedom of speech. I get it that we're pushing back on the oversensitive. Yeah, I get it that funny should remain funny. And that's that. And we were in the green room after the show, talking about like something. And I mentioned like, a creator that like, just like, hey, like this one was just like way too homophobic one time. And I'm just like, I had enough of you. And that was that. And so we were just like, that came up because it's just like, there's a lot of that in our side of the fandom. Just like, oh gosh. I mean, like if I got to listen to one more thing about Star Wars being queer, the acolyte being queer. I mean, seriously, it's like the L word of Star Wars show. It's like, like queer as folk, in a long time, there's so many Star Wars shows out there, man. It's so much it is a kind of genre. It's a boutique. It's boutique programming, I think. Yeah, it's like that She-Hulk show that they made. That was Sex in the City with a superhero skin. And that's exactly what Rainbow Roll's doing, on our comic book over here. But it's June. It's Pride Month. It's probably been the lowest key Pride Month we've seen in years. So that trend, even if the trend goes away, we're still going to have gay friends. We're still going to have gay family members. We're still going to have gay coworkers, gay guests, and neighbors, and the people that sit next to us at bars and shit like that. So, I mean, gay people are in your life. And I just have a very, like, the older I get, I came from South Boston, Massachusetts, a very racist, very closed-minded place at one time, and back in the 20th century. And I've been working in restaurants for most of my life. And there was nothing more stereotypical than a gay waiter in downtown Boston. And so, you get to know people. You get out of your neighborhood. You get to experience and live life. And you get to make friends. And you get to experience, and you get to say, and you go to parties and share meals and drink and have good times and memories. And with just people being people. And so I got Joe Corallo's DC Pride issue, $10. There's 2 reprints and a brand new story. This is it's not Joe Corallo's book, but we'll get there in a second. Joe Corallo is a comic book creator. He's openly gay. He follows me on Twitter, and he's part of like my YouTube gang. I don't think that Joe and I have ever been on a show together, but he's been on Yule's show. He's been on Purchase show. I mean, he's been on Wes's show. I mean, but I don't think I've ever shared a panel with Joe on Wes's. But I haven't bought any of his stuff yet. I missed out on Dahlia in the Dark. And I've been like, I actively look for what Joe Corallo stuff I can buy because I want to support him. He's my friend. You know what I mean? He's my internet friend. And this is this thing of ours. Okay. Yes, it's a Pride issue. Who gives a fuck? Is it good? Yes. Okay. I love these old Vertigo comic books from the late 80s and early 90s. Now, Grant Morrison came onto the Doom Patrol and reinvented it, made it really weird, and was the precursor to these Karen Berger edited, adult books. And then came Rachel Pollack. And Rachel Pollack was one of the first openly trans women to work in comic books. And this was about that time, too, in the late 80s, early 90s. Rachel Pollack was also a close personal friend of Joe Corallo's. And Rachel Pollack wrote Doom Patrol and also a couple of other things. So this is a reprint of Doom Patrol issue number 70, The Laughing Game, and also Vertigo Visions, The Geek, issue number 1, Homeland of the Gods, with pencils by Michael Allred and inks by his wife, and colors by his wife Laura. And then comes at the end of it, the third part is called Shining Through the Wreckage, and that's written by Joe Corallo. So what we have here is we have this insanely wacky, in the same vein of the Grant Morrison absurdity. You have this Doom Patrol story about a trans character. Now, today we would call this a self-insert. So, lots of characters are self-inserts too. It's just sometimes they're so obvious that they become ridiculous. And I mean that in the spirit of the original word, meaning worthy of ridicule. But this is about a about a trans woman who has this weird superpower, which is what Doom Patrol is all about. Who comes across a bad guy who his winky was so small, he made a weaponized phallus for it and becomes this supervillain. And hilarity ensues. So Michael Allred art. Come on. I couldn't even follow this middle story. Oh, cool. How is Beckstar? That's cool. And the last part of it is a new story written by Joe Corallo. And it fits in with the it starts here, and it fits in with the Dennis Culver continuity, the Unstoppable Doom Patrol, with the art, by Chris Burnham there. And it brings back the trans character, brings her back to life too. And it's just as absurd, and it fits in so, liquefy, coagulate. That's her power. She can make things into liquid, and then it's this chemical thing. Oh, this is a pretty good story. Yeah. So that's it. And I got a DC Pride issue, and I'm proud of it. And because it's Pride Month, don't be afraid to be proud of your gay friends and your gay family members. They've come a long way. We live in the future. We live in the 21st century, and hopefully that they live in a world where they don't have to be harmed for being who they are. I know a lot of people take it too far, and it's just there are fringe groups in every group, and there are assholes in every group too. Speaking of assholes in groups, let's talk about Star Wars fans. That's it for comic books. Yay! All right, we're going to talk about comic books. We're going to talk about how Disney Star Wars is for gatekeepers. It's true. There's just all of this acolyte stuff. Man, how you feeling with that? Are you doing okay with that stuff? Am I? I mean, I'm becoming quite all set with I'm just gonna retreat to liking Lucas Star Wars and just keep it at that. I mean, I'm a little tired of all this fighting and all this back and forth. I mean, literally a group of people that don't care how you think or feel are trying to think, to tell you how they think and feel. Hey, George Lucas, how you doing? Good to see you. But trying to find what I said earlier on Twitter. I'm looking through my tweets. Because I think there's a certain unlikability and obnoxiousness to activists and activism. And I think there's a certain unlikability and obnoxiousness to activist culture. It's like, because its purpose is to be disruptive. It's attention seeking. It seeks to change. And well, change is part of the natural part of the goings on of the universe. I can say that much. But it looks to disrupt, to give leverage. So I will stop disrupting if you say there's the conditionality. It's an if-then statement, a conditional statement. If-then. If you are an ist, if you are a phobe, if you are, punching down on these marginalized, intersectional people, in the Acolyte, then you are not a Star Wars fan. And now I'm like, this is strictly like Disney people at this point. And I'm like, yeah, like Disney canon people are like that. And I'm like I'm kind of like, I just want to step away from it. And I want to see what the next generation has to offer, because this generation is spoken. They don't care about Star Wars. They care about platform. It's not about... It's like, I can reconcile the whole stupid Chiadi Mundi thing, man. There are two universes. There's the classic Lucas universe, and then there's the modern Disney universe. And I mean, I'm just so kind of like, I'm starting to feel apathetic. I never have felt this apathetic before. I've said this too. That classic Lucas Star Wars, like, I'm answering a question from, Galaxy Chronicles. They're okay. You know what I mean? They got 2,000 odd followers. They want to let's talk fandoms and Star Wars. But it seems more they're Disney Star Wars people. You can tell by look through the mentions of this. Let's look through the mentions of this. All right. This is their benign quote. I mean, nobody's throwing shit at them. No one's talking. Don't talk any crap to these people. I don't want you to. Please. That would disappoint me. Don't do that to me, please. I still haven't watched it. Why would I ever watch The Acolyte? I don't know. I'll watch other people talk about The Acolyte. I am, yeah, because it's like I know. Let's see. The canon that doesn't have to be like this person's most controversial opinion is like, this is David. You know what I mean? He's 24. He's got pronouns. I'm not going to say anything about someone's pronouns in there, because that's like look, pronouns in bio. Well, that's an ad hominem, and that does nothing to support the merits of your claim. They're self-admittedly here autistic, and so they're a young person. I mean, they were 4 years old when the Phantom Menace came out. Wow, no, Phantom Menace 25. Oh my gosh, they weren't. You know what I mean? So they wow. They were born after this. So the canon, That canon doesn't have to be 100% consistent. Like your ability to enjoy a story shouldn't be ruined because it's not accurate to a line of dialogue in a novel from a decade ago. And they're clapping. All Star Wars is great, just different levels of greatness. Facts. I'm not making fun of anyone. The sequel trilogy is better than the prequel trilogy. Oh, you get some eyes for that one. But yeah, so is this pretty much just benign? And those are the only comments that they responded to. But I quote tweeted this. Didn't get any pushback from it. That's a good thing. But that classic Lucas Star Wars and modern Disney Star Wars are two separate things. They should be respected as such. And maybe it's better for everyone involved that we just leave it there. Perhaps even so that there's no liking both. That if you say something, but I like both, No. That just means you're a Disney Star Wars fan. You just said it right there. You like both. All Disney Star Wars fans, not only love Lucas Star Wars, but they covet it because it's not broken, and it's pure myth. It's pure escapism. There's no controversy except for the prequel stuff. But the prequel stuff was interesting. I liked the prequels. I was knee deep in that too. I mean, I had friends trying to convince me that the prequels weren't that great. I liked them, and I was forgiving of them. In the same way, I like Picard season 3. It's like I appreciate what we got. You know what I mean? It didn't ruin my experience. But then, the same best friend introduced me to Red Letter Media with the Mr. Plinkett reviews, and that really opened my mind up to a lot of the criticisms it was getting and where they were coming from, where they were rooted in cinema theory. It were it was just like there was some real violations of cinema theory. But then you have George Lucas making one of the biggest independent films ever made. That's my controversial opinion at Star Wars right now, because Disney Star Wars fans are gatekeepers. They will, because they're so easy. No hate is tolerated. If you are hateful, then you are not a Star Wars fan. I've seen that. Haven't you? I have. If you have hate, you are not, and it's only Disney fans that say this. I mean, I know that they get shit. They get there's this huge thing out there. It's called the culture war. People taking this shit way too seriously. People's sense of fun comes from picking on other people. That's very human. And it's very easy to do behind an anonymous screen name. I mean, seriously, I don't take anyone's shit. But also, I know that a Disney Star Wars fan does not care how I think or feel. That they're very possessive. That the sorest bunch of winners I've ever seen in my life, they won. And just all this constant negative churn. This is supposed to be fun. This is supposed to be escapism. And you know what, Disney Star Wars fans, you can gatekeep all you want. You can have your broken toys. You can have your story that doesn't make sense. You can cherry pick all the good shit out of Lucas Star Wars that you want. You have taken a photocopy of a really good story, and all you're doing is scribbling on top of this image to make it and trying to sell it, to sell it once again. Be like, hey, look, yellow lightsaber. Yay! I'm just kidding. Yellow lightsabers are, they're all right. Bandito Bane is in the house. Reorganizing my sock drawer. Exactly. But I mean, yeah, Star Wars, Disney Star Wars is for gatekeepers. It's because it's not about Star Wars. It's about moral superiority. I mean, do you remember what Obi-Wan said to Anakin on Mustafar? Anakin, only a Sith deals in absolutes. I mean, that's the old Star Wars. When Star Wars possessed wisdom, when it had the ability to transmit wisdom, and it had the ability to transcend this earthly world and just give us some entertainment. And it was a world of good versus evil, where that could exist. It's a fictional world where good versus evil exists, because there's plenty of room in the real world is where the gray exists. We needed to make this fictional world where there was such thing as this absolute good to root for against an absolute evil. And now everything has to be, oh no, Jedis are like ambiguous or this or that or gray or you're just like, no, that's not what Star Wars is. You're just trying to fit Star Wars into something that it's not. But you own it, though. I mean, I come back to that Quentin Tarantino thing and Django Unchained. Like, oh gosh, it's terrible. And I just like, that's George Lucas's fault. Have an Oreo. I'm serious. Fucking Star Wars. Having a good day out there? Happy Sunday. Anything else? Oh, yeah. My op-ed piece. This is when Pikachu lets me get creative and shoot from the hip. And, you go off script. I've been watching lots of Lifetime movies. Dude, it's like the default channel when I turn on my TV, and then I have to select, before I select my PS4, because that's what I use as like a Roku box. And I watch YouTube through my PS4 and Amazon Prime. It's all I need. But I could have all my apps on there too. You know what I mean? So when I turn on the TV, its default is the Lifetime movie network, Lifetime channel. Lifetime for women. So it's always like the same, these beautiful actresses. Dude. I'm always like, oh wow. And these actresses you haven't seen like forever. Be like, holy shit, Alexandra Paul from Baywatch. Wow. You know what I mean? And she's age appropriate for me too, or at that time of filming, which is fine. I found great, And so when watching these Lifetime movies, and it's like, I feel like your boy Zach, Richard C. Meyer, I think he says stuff like this too, like everything in comic books is like a Lifetime movie. These made for Lifetime movies with these, reliable, B actors. They can do their job. They deliver the role. It's always, but there's always like, it's all, they're movies for women. This is entertainment for ladies. Okay, so it's melodramatic. It's relationship based. There's always some kind of evil woman, evil man, abusive man, murdering husband. You know what I mean? There's always some kind of murder plot going on. They also show the real life. I love those real life police procedural stuff. So just Criminal Minds, NCIS. Oh, come on. I love that stuff. I don't know why. But there's always talking over food, talking over dinner tables, talking about feelings. It's just like, oh my God. Everything in comic books right now. It's coming from this lens of storytelling. It's a trend. I think it's because it's not. I mean, is it fair or unfair? Would it be fair to compare a 1980s comic to a 1950s comic? Because I'm about to compare a 2020s comic to a 1990s comic. Fair or unfair? Maybe a little unfair. But then comic book writers wrote for comic book fans, where comic book writers knew how to write comic book stories with comic book characters. They weren't telling this like this monomyth story told from this Lifetime for women movie, thing. Gosh, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to spit this out. It was just I was watching them this morning, and I'm like, guy answers, guys in the it is cold open. All right, woman, idyllic, home, beautiful, coiffed hair. The phone calls baby up. He calls up baby, and hey, and like he picks up the phone. He's in a warehouse, might be at work. You know what I mean? Handsome, rugged. I already got to figure it out before it cuts to the establishing scene. And it's like, honey, will you pick up some paprika and some coriander on the way home? I'm making a soup tonight for supper. You're like, yeah, baby, of course I will. Daddy's gonna get back to work now. And then the next shot is like, all right, I've been sent here to pay your debt to Don Giabasco. And kapow, kapow. And like I was like, I bet you, before it cut, like, I bet you he's a hit man, and she gets sucked up into this life of and bow, and it's just like, oh wow, I'm so good at this. It's such a dubious skill. My God. But then there's all the eating and all the drama, and all the emotion stuff and all the just. These stories aren't made for comic book fans much anymore. They are out there. They're few and far between. They really are. But it's just these Lifetime movies. They're just. I hope you watch a few. I can't help it. I mean, I just get caught. I don't want to watch them, and I end up just end up watching them, and it's like. It's not that they're terrible. It's they're intrinsically bad. They're melodrama, and they're like. But I don't know. I'm a sucker for pretty women too. But it's just it's at least The Sopranos had really good tempo and charisma. I keep coming back to where does all of these eating, this dramatic scenes over eating come from? Where does it come from? I feel it comes from Sopranos. We've got two generations of writers with Sopranos as the gold standard of storytelling, of dramatic storytelling. And but then there's the Lifetime lens on that, where it's very focus groupy. It's very, I love a woman's touch, not physically, emotionally, literally and figuratively. You know what I mean? The woman's touch. It's like the Jack Show. I mean, seriously. I mean, I love the Jack Show. I've been watching Jack Show for 4 years, I think. And it's like hanging out with my friends, watching them bust balls. It's a wonderful, wonderful place to hang out for me. I love it. And but I'll tell you this much: if it wasn't for when Anna's not there, I don't think the show works as well, because you need, that Fantastic Four thing. That 3 dudes and 1 woman. That's that perfect comic book, ratio. But she's just like, that's Anna, that Star Wars girl. She takes the piss out of the boys, and she knows how to go blow for blow with all the chops, and it's wonderful. And so there's always room for a woman's touch and a woman's perspective. I mean, it's great, but that Lifetime for women is made for women. Seriously, unabashedly. The commercials too. You should see the commercials. But that narrative, tone, theme, that voice, that point of view, the camera work, or the whole thing, it just seems like I'm watching these Lifetime for Women made for TV movies about Mother May I Sleep with Danger. I wish I was watching that one. Jeez, that's a classic. But it's like like these are the stories that are now being told in comic books with these with female editors that come out of academia, that hire female writers that come out of academia, and it's not bullpen writers that come out of this kind of farm system like baseball does, or oh gosh, it's like if they weren't writing for Marvel Comics, they would be writing for Lifetime movies for women. That's what I was trying to say. Thank you very much. And that is my op-ed, and that is the show for this week. Thank you so very much. I just wanted to say thank you. I feel blessed and grateful that everyone shows up and enjoys themselves. And just keep going to your local comic book shop, because your patronage helps keep their lights on, helps keep them, paying their staff to keep ordering, next week's books. And I get my supplies there too. I get so many comic books that they need skins, they need bags, they need boards, they need boxes. Oh, Bandito. Oh, thank you, Bandito. Columbus Memorial Service is on right now. So I advise you to go check that out. Clobbering Time, Mike Alonzo, my friend, has passed away, and his services are today. So God bless him. God bless all of us. Thank you so much. Please like and subscribe. I would love to earn your subscription. We're about to break 1,500 subscribers. You could be 1,501. That could be you. Thank you so very much. I hope you like the content. Let me know in the comments section. What are you reading? What are you putting down? What are you drawing? You know what I mean? Hey, it's good to see you out there, Shane Davis. God bless you and Yanzi and Terry. And keep them coming, and I'll keep buying them, man. Seriously. And it's good to see everyone. I'm blessed and grateful. I'm enjoying my vacation. I'm finding things in our fandom to love and to embrace and to reject the outrage. Sometimes the outrage comes to your front door. You gotta be ready for it. All right. And don't get waylaid by it. You know what I mean? Just be on top of that stuff. But put like Qui-Gon Jinn said in Star Wars, The Phantom Menace to Anakin, your focus determines your reality. It's so true. That's wisdom transmitted through fiction. That's why it's a valuable source for other people's platforms. They want to use that. You know what I mean? Once upon a time, in a galaxy far, far away, a long time ago, Star Wars was able to transmit wisdom to young people and to geeky people. That power was co-opted by a dangerous corporation and to be used as propaganda and messaging. That's what it becomes when it's under that lens. Star Wars got Disney-fied. It was meant to happen. So we'll always have Lucas Star Wars. We'll always have that. The Force will be with you always. Thank you so very much. God bless. Namaste. Good luck. Good to see you out there. Hey, Dr. Nitrogen. Awesome. Thank you so very much. God bless. Namaste. Good luck. And we will see you again in those funny pages. All right now. Ciao. Bye-bye. Ha-ha.